everyone, welcome back to my channel, An Accidental Retiree. I'm Tammy E, and today we're going to be going through my third week of vlogging about writing a novel. So I hope you enjoy this video, and we're going to start with the vlog, and in just a few seconds, here we go. Hi. So I wanted to do some update for this week, and I'm trying to vlog it a little bit. I typically try not to work on my writing during the weekend, but this past weekend I did. And I went through and I kind of named all of my characters, or my main characters and primary characters and secondary characters. The antagonist, protagonist, I named them. I have their character sketches, but I didn't have their names, and I'm kind of glad I did it that way because it's a process. What I'm doing now is looking at those names that I picked out, and I'm going through the meaning and I'm tweaking them and putting in last names, and then I'm going to sketch them onto the characters that I sketched out last week in the notebook, the 90-day planner, and then I'm going to type those up and then paste them around and do a little photographing or picturing as I go. I haven't moved too very much forward, but this is all important background stuff, and it helps hone in, like I'm kind of basing this on some things that happened in my family when I was a kid, but at the same time I'm trying to fictionalize it, and then that gets to, what am I trying to say? What are the overall reaching things that I want to say in this novel? What are the themes? What is it that I'm going to be trying to say? And that starts taking me into a more fiction area, which is great. And so going through this naming process is kind of getting me to do that and think about that, and so moving forward. And then I have in the back of my mind sort of the series that I want to create and some of those themes, and so they're kind of going through. I got a book. I don't know if I put it here. Anyways, I don't know where I put it. Anyway, I bought a book to, maybe sketch out the next book. But then there's this other book that's based on a dream that I had. And what I got, I didn't like. And so I'm going to stick with this type of format for this series. But this other book that I have in my brain that's totally fiction, but based on a dream. And then, seeds of your own life kind of, or events in your own life kind of filter in. And so I've kind of been percolating on that. And I think that one I'm going to sketch out. And I'm going to actually probably once in a while take a deviation in that, which, there again, it's probably not going to be 90 days that this book is finished, but I'm going to plot through. And it is the driving force. Now, like I said, I try to take off on weekends, but this last Saturday, I went and I typed in, and I searched for the period these people were born. So I'm kind of setting in the time and the popular names, and I didn't want to take the most popular. And, I had a whole process of figuring out names and kind of made a game of it. And you really couldn't figure it out, really, the way I did it. But anyway, so it was interesting. And, John and Mary are like the most popular names. Guess what? Probably never going to have a John and Mary in any of my books, unless maybe this. No, I'm not going to even have it there. There's never going to be a John and Mary in any of my books. My father's first wife was named Mary, and yeah. And I've known a lot of men now, but they were boys growing up whose name were John, and I dated some of them. So there is that, or I knew them, or I was friends with them, or, whatever. Anyway, so or I had a crush on them. So, used to be like, oh, I have a new crush. Oh, don't tell me. His name is John. Don't tell me. Well, it's kind of a popular name, I suppose that would be why. But anyway. Yeah. Anyway. Long story, and that takes me back to high school. Yeah, I got a note one time from a guy and it was signed John. I knew 3. And it wasn't the one I thought it was. So literally the one that I thought it was in my high school yearbook is, I did not write that note. Yeah, anyway. I kind of figured out who did, but he didn't really fess up, but that's another story. Yeah, I named, my husband's name is not John. Let's just put it that way. And actually, anyone that I dated seriously, they weren't named John. Well, except for that one guy. Anyway, it's not going to be a name. Nor Tammy, nor Jeff. No, my children's names aren't going to be in there either, My cousins. Well, some of them might be because, eventually I've got like 41 first cousins. Eventually you run out of names. But, yeah. But they're not going to be the people that they are. That's for sure. Anyway, it's all fiction. But I'm just embracing that. They say that a novelist always writes about their own life in their first novel. So I'm just like going, yeah, I'm going to take this part of my life. I'm going to write about this part of my life, but it's not going to be this part of my life. It's going to be fictionalized. And because it's so long ago and I was a kid, it's got to be fiction. So it works. So anyway, that's where I am for today on Tuesday. I think it's May 26th, something like that. Anyway, and I could be off by the day because I'm not really counting them, not really looking at the calendar right now. But anyway, I hopefully will have some update because I'm working on what those names of those names mean today and kind of holding that up. I might go back to the notebook if I have time, but I have lots of jewelry making to catch up on. I'm going to be making one video, so you're going to see this outfit in a whole video. And yeah, so that's happening. And I will give you more update when I write some more. Hopefully I have some more that I write before Friday, and I put this up on Friday, or it may come up on Saturday. It just depends on when I, put it up. So there's that. Here I am back again, and this vlog is going to kind of be only a couple different days of the week. I'm on Friday already, Thursday. I've been going through this kind of, I don't know if it's depression. I mean, I've had a rough decade. I would say not just since 2020. I mean, I had a rough time before I retired, and then, there'd be a lull. I'd pick myself up, and then another rough time with the years, and my mother being more towards her end of her journey with Alzheimer's, dementia type of thing, and and then the pandemic stuff, and having a daughter who got married to someone I wasn't keen on. I have to admit, I never was real keen on, but and then she had difficulty with her pregnancy, and the living situation wasn't what I had hoped, since she was, had saved up her money to buy her house, and then they had all these people rooming with them, and it just wasn't what I had envisioned for her life. I had hoped she'd live on her own for a few years, and then when she got married, well, that was fine, but that they'd be just together, the two of them, and then the baby came along, which was a wonderful blessing, and it was sad, because it just was a sad situation, because it just was. And I can't go into detail about it. But anyway, and I found out I had a brother, and I never was able to meet him. And the real thing that's been bothering me is, when that came along, a lot of my childhood things have been dredged up, and I finally have had this 2022, 2023 period, even though I have my grandson here and I'm busy, I have more of a time to decompress, and mourn the loss of my mother, and then I have the loss of my brother on top of it, and then I have all these other things that came out in my family that were not the greatest thing, and then it dredged up things from my childhood, and I'm dealing with things from my childhood that were not pleasant, and it makes me feel rather like I was never really fully loved as a child. And everyone around me would say, oh, that's not true, because my parents painted this picture for the world that I was truly loved, but not in the way that I love my children, and not in the way, even though I don't think they necessarily appreciated it. It's, and I'm not sure if I understand normal. Anyway, and then I'm going through what was kind of the hardest year of my childhood, but the best year of my childhood. It was a year where I almost died. Really, literally, I almost died. And one of my best friends did die. And my parents kind of discovered, therefore, I was an empath kind of thing, or that seed was planted or something, which that kind of goes along with this, but also my cousins who I loved dearly and was closest to. My 3 cousins lived with us, and it was a wonderful thing as a child perspective, but it was a very sad thing for them. And and then it was a really traumatic thing when they left. And I can't pull all of that in, because I can't tell you everything about it, because that's their stories. And frankly, I don't even know where they are at this point in my life. So it brings back a lot, and I'm going through a lot. But I'm fictionalizing it a little bit, which makes it more interesting to you, hopefully the reader, and so on. And anyway, so I'm going through a process. So I'm going to be doing a lot of prayers as I write this book. Maybe using my pendulum to help me make decisions, because I'm not sure where I want to start the story. And I'm kind of at that place almost right now. I have the character sketches. I have the character names, the last names even, tweaked this week. I have to write them in my planner, and so that I have them at an easy place to look at. I don't have to look in, music electronics to look it up. And I also have the scenes of my story in place. So, now it's going to be kind of a matter of setting which starts where am I starting. And so I'm going to be working on getting that in here. You're going to see that in a time lapse and see how far I go. And then I'll do a little update, and then that'll be it for this week. Managed to finish. This is like 3:30 or so on Friday, and I've done a lot of work today. I got all of the characters in the character areas of this book and written neatly, and a few other things. I have some questions of where I'm going to start the story, because I think that's important. It's not mentioned here, but for me, in my vision of this book, it's important to know that before I determine the settings, because that makes a difference in the main settings, some main points. I haven't gotten to the mood board. I'm not sure. It says paste images that inspire your story. I don't know where you get those, because, well, I suppose, I don't know. I'm not big on doing stuff like that. Maybe I'll draw pictures. That might even be better for me. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. Anyway, I have some good questions. Mainly I was thinking about, because after the setting master list, I have the settings now to do, which, how am I doing with this planner? I don't know, because theoretically my 90 days is up in June. I think it is, yeah. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm almost at 30 days. Where is it? July? Let's see. All of April, May, June. Well, I guess it is up in July, but I have a feeling it might be August before I'm done. Because my big goal was to get that much done. So I was working on the acts and stuff. And then getting to the meat of the writing at the beginning of May. I don't think I'm going to get quite there. And I really think the meat of the writing is what takes the 90 days, but I could be wrong. I could be right on track. We'll see. And you have ups and downs, and you go, figuring it out. So I want it to be the best it can be, and this is only the rough draft. I'm going to have to do this all again. Not all again, but I'm going to have to take 90 days to revise, and I'm going to have to look into that plan. Because there really are 180-day novels so that it would be ready for publication, sort of, or closer to it. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm trying to get this rough draft done in around 90 days. But I have a feeling that I'm going to really start my 90-day count on May 5th, not the April 5th that I actually started it. So I'm giving myself that extra month because, trying to figure this out a little bit more. And also, I wanted to do a good job on the pre-writing. I didn't want to take it too long. I have a general title of it, but really this next step, when I really think about where and do some praying on it and I may even use my pendulum, because I have 4 questions I'm going to ask my pendulum, and I'll know, and then I still will go with what my gut says, which is what God tells me. Anyway, so that's happening. I want to work on this mood board too. I think that'll be fun. And then I'll be working on the act structure for next week, so that, about May 5th, I'll be doing the outlines and then actual writing. So, I'm on track. I'm pretty much on track. Forget my double chin. I've got my legs up here. I have some fast, time elapsed there. We'll see how that works out, because I actually filmed while I was working on this today. These are going to go up on the weekends because I take off on Saturday and Sunday. I try not to write much. Sometimes I'll write on Saturday, never on Sunday. But videos can go up on Sunday. So I'll be doing my editing, and then hopefully each week my videos will go up either Saturday or Sunday for the week's writing, because, I'm still writing on Fridays. So I don't want to really necessarily say I'm going to get something up on Friday, because I think that's going to work better as I go into it. I'm in week 3. So I'm happy that I keep plugging along. And my family goes, oh, that's great, as I'm actually doing it. So, yeah. Anyway. And I've been making jewelry too. So, and I'm babysitting right now. So my life is busy. And anyway, if you like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Please do hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I'm at 222. I went up to 223 one day, and then I went back down to 222, which I like 222 as a number, so it's fine. It's an angel number, so that's okay. Anyway, until next time, thank you for watching, and God bless, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.